So Rick, tell us some more stuff about testosterone. Go ahead.
So now that you ran through the esters and the times, I'm going to give you guys a little something here about the weights. So I said this in another podcast. I'll rehash it again. When you look at the milligrams that you are injecting, right, you got to think about it this way. When the raw powder or when the raw hormone is being weighted out to be made into a formula, the total weight of the hormone includes the ester chain. Now, the ester chain does not grow muscle. It is just there to let that hormone get suspended in oil. And so that once the hormone enters your body, it's not in and out used right away, but that it lingers. It can linger for days, sometimes weeks. So it's just important to know that when you inject, let's say 100 milligrams of testosterone propionate, about 80 milligrams of that is going to be actual active testosterone, while about 20 milligrams is going to be the propionate ester chain that needs to get cleaved off, needs to come off the steroid first before it can interact with the receptors and do its thing. The way your body cleaves or takes off the ester chain is with a couple of enzymes that are there, and these enzymes interact naturally in the body with other structures that are like it. And when the steroid is in your system, these enzymes are naturally drawn to interact with the structure, and it takes that little ester chain, takes that little chain off of the steroid. Now the steroid can interact with the receptors. Testosterone cypionate, for example, you get about 69 milligrams of actual testosterone for every 100 milligrams. The rest is ester. When you're talking about something like testosterone decanoate, testosterone undecanoate, you're only getting about 62 to 61 milligrams of testosterone that will actually build muscle for every 100 milligrams of testosterone decanoate or testosterone decanoate. The other 38, 39 milligrams are non-muscle building ester chain that, like I said earlier, has to come off of the base hormone before the base hormone can interact with receptors or other enzymes itself, like 5-reductase or the aromatase enzymes. Now, I have to mention naphthate because that is a popular ester. That's about 70 milligrams of testosterone that you get for every 100 milligrams of testosterone naphthate. You get about 70 milligrams of active. The other 30 milligrams are the ester chain, like I said earlier. So it's a quick rundown to go with your timelines there, Steve.
So let's talk about the benefits. First time I ran testosterone, I ran the Testosterone blend, 500 milligrams a week. One of the first things I noticed is in the gym, strength was up. My libido was up. My mood was up. Felt like $1 million. Felt like I was 17 again. You know that feeling when you're 17? It was just amazing. Appetite went up. I was growing muscle like a weed, and I was getting bigger, man. I was getting confident and everything. So it basically makes you feel like you're young again, especially as you get older, because your testosterone levels drop as you get older. You throw in, exogenous testosterone, and you're going to feel young again. It feels fantastic. So those are the benefits, guys. And, what I like to do is what I did on my cycles is I'll kickstart it with a oral. And that really worked well. First 3-4 weeks, kickstart it with an oral, and then run the 500 milligrams a week for 12 weeks. That's a good first cycle, even second or third cycle. And that will do the job. You're getting both androgenic and anabolic effects.
Yeah, I like testosterone quite a bit. It's kind of the only thing I use now along with EQ. At my age, it gives me a little boost. I don't really juice a lot anymore. I just want to stay healthy and stay strong and look good. So testosterone, just gets me there. One of the things I like about testosterone is that when you really think about it, it's already what your body is used to having. You just put in more of it. I don't really run the chance stuff that I think about now going into 40 of using something that later on might give me some side effects that we might not know about. Look, you don't just have no idea what some of the stuff can do down the line. But testosterone, I can confidently say my body already makes it. There's well-documented information on the side effects of having too high a testosterone for too long. That we already know what the problems that can occur there are. And I can prepare for that. Also, the side effects from testosterone are very predictable. and the drugs to counteract them are readily available. If you have an issue with testosterone turning too much into estrogen and giving you estrogen side effects, you have a very wide choice of different anti-estrogen drugs you can use to counter it. Everything from just Nolvadex to keep it out of receptors to Arimidex to Aromasin to lower overall estrogen. If you have an issue with testosterone becoming too much DHT, dihydrotestosterone, and giving you some of those really androgenic side effects. So yeah, if you have an issue with your testosterone being converted into dihydrotestosterone at too high of a rate and giving you some of those side effects like hair loss, prostate enlargement, some of these side effects that you get, then you also have a choice of drugs that you can use to combat those. And this is all well documented. The research is all out there, where when you use these drugs to combat side effects from other steroids that are not testosterone, we're bro science in it really to a large degree because the test and the real information isn't out there. Whereas it is about testosterone. So I feel pretty confident going forward that if I have some issues, they'll be from my testosterone being too high, not from some unknown link between this synthetic hormone that I've used for decades and something in my brain down the line, right? So that's what I really like about testosterone, just the predictability of it at all. Also, it's probably one of the cheapest steroids you can buy, so it's rarely ever fake. I mean, I can't say enough about it. It's just a great anabolic, just a great steroid. And in my opinion, and I'll give people advice about every steroid out there. I'm familiar with all of them. I've used all of them at some point. But I will just tell everybody, and I'll keep saying this in the podcast, if you're just trying to look good with your shirt off, if you're just trying to look tight and be strong, look at testosterone is all you need.
So let's talk about some of the misconceptions, and this kind of goes into side effects as well. The biggest misconception I see on the forums is guys don't understand that if they take testosterone, they'll get shut down. It does shut you down, guys. It's going to shut down your pituitary glands. Anytime you introduce an exogenous hormone, doesn't matter if it's testosterone, trenbolone, DECA, D-bol, whatever, it's going to shut you down. And testosterone shuts you down severely. So you must run a post-cycle therapy after testosterone. Don't think that you can just run testosterone and nothing, that you're not going to get shut down. So always run a PCT after. The other misconception is guys think they can run these absurd dosages. I see 1,000 milligrams a week, 2,000 milligrams a week. They think they can run as much as they want. They're not going to have effects. All those side effects that Rick mentioned, they become very severe when you abuse testosterone. The estrogen issues, the androgenic issues, is the DHT issues. And that will compound themselves as time goes by. So there's no reason to run it at high dosages. The most I've ever ran it was 750 milligrams a week, which was plenty. I got just as good results as 500 milligrams a week. So I reject the idea they have to run 1 or 2 grams a week of testosterone. So less is always better. I like to run low dosages of testosterone when I'm on cycle. Let's say running Primo, EQ, Trend, whatever. I like to run a super low dose of testosterone with them. And just to give it a little androgenic kick. So testosterone is, it's a good versatile, steroid. It's the top selling steroid out there in terms of injectables. And it's, it really, really can be used in any cycle you can name. So it's a tremendous compound. And like Rick said, any steroid source is going to have not just testosterone, they're going to have different versions of testosterone. They're going to have different esters of testosterone. We see them, we see a lot of sources that will sell different, they'll sell the base, the suspension, they'll sell all the way up to the undecanate long ester, from short ester, long ester, in between blends, all kinds of different things will be sold for testosterone. So it's very versatile for sources and on the black market. And it's very, very cheap, as Rick said. A vial of testosterone, costs less than it costs you to wash your car. That's the reality of it. So it's very cheap.
I used to be able to buy a amp of Testosterone, which is a testosterone enanthate. one milliliter amp, 250 milligrams for about $7 US. And then and I had the option of getting Testosterone, which is that the 1 amp, or getting Nevito, which is testosterone undecanoate. It's a big jug, 4 cc's, and it has 1,000 milligrams of testosterone, 4 cc's. And Bayer discontinued Testosterone. It's off the market. Can't get it anymore. Can't find it at any pharmacy. Just no. They didn't even send me a letter or anything to let me know. and it's now gone. And let me just give you guys a price difference. Just going to Farmacia over the counter, right? Testosterone, 250 milligrams, 1 cc amp, $7. And like I explained earlier, we're getting a good amount of testosterone there because it's the shorter ester. Now, on the other hand, Nevito, testosterone undecanoate, 4 cc jug, 250 milligrams per cc. So it's 1,000 milligrams, $74. So my steroid bill just went up because I only use human grade test. Apparently, it's going to be tough, almost impossible for me to continue to get Testosterone anymore. I've been pretty saddened by these news, man. I can't get legit Testosterone corner of pharmacy like I used to anymore.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting little situation there. But all right, guys, excellent. So, guys, we really appreciate you listening to this podcast. I think we covered pretty much everything on testosterone, but if we missed anything, we'll definitely follow up on a future podcast. Thanks for listening, guys. Our next podcast is coming up next week. I hope you guys will join us once again. For Steve, Smee, and Rick, this is another episode of Evolutionary Podcast coming your way. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
Hey, thanks for listening, guys. Have a good one, Steve.
Guys, this is the required legal disclaimer. We are only sharing our experience from years of steroid use. We are not doctors, and none of what we say should be regarded as medical advice. Always check with your doctor before taking any drugs or starting any training program.